Hello and welcome to the new Manor ground. I'm Connor Jones. We're live in the clock tower for Ilkeston Town against Highgate United today. Well, on Grand National Day, it's looking like a two-horse race in the Midlands Premier with just 4 games to go. Ilkeston know they can't afford any wobbles at this particular fence so late on, especially with title rivals Walsall Wood coming to the NGM in just 2 weeks' time. 3 changes for the Robins ahead of this game. One of them enforced late in the warm-up. Meikle is out injured. He's replaced by Baker. White, of course, suspended after being sent off in the game against Wolfronians. He's replaced by Tom Marshall at the back. And Benny Bennett was on the team sheet to play, but he was injured in the warm-up. He's been replaced by Carl Dixon, so we think Jamie Walker will start at left-back today. Might be free at the back, or Walker might stay in the number 3 role for the whole game. Almost underway to get ready here. I'll bring you the lineups in full in a second. Just making sure, if you're listening live on YouTube, that you can hear me, which I think you can. It's the Reds taking on the pink of Highgate today, which seems a very appropriate away colour when today's game is going towards cancer research. Just £2 entry, £1 going to the club, £1 going to Macmillan Cancer Support. Brilliant from both sides. And the referee is just about to get us underway here. Just counting the number of players on each side. In the Derbyshire sunshine here today. Checks his watch. And eventually, we're underway. Big game this. Penultimate home game of the season for the Robins. Need to make sure that they don't drop any points with just 4 games to go. Let's bring you the team news then, as Ilkeston knock it around midfield. In goal, Liam Mitchell. We think the back 4 is Jamie Walker, who is still wearing number 11. Chris Shaw and Matt Baker definitely in the centre of the fence. Tom Marshall in the right. Just to confirm that Walker has started in the left back role. Midfield, Fabian Smith, Carl Dixon, Jermaine Hollis. As Ilkeston have an early chance here, which was just deflected out for an early corner. It was Alex Marshall with it. So the midfield, sorry, Smith, Dixon, Hollis and Fife. Marshall's up top with Elliot Reeves just playing off him. I'll bring you the Highgate team after this Ilkeston corner, which is being taken in front of the car park. Smith is going to take it. It's going to be an out swinger just in front of the turnstiles. It's gone deep, headed on by Baker, and it's over the crossbar, over the stand and into the car park. So the Highgate line-up for this one. They got 7 players that started the win in November against Ilkeston. Brad Catlow in goal. Defence of Brian, Odgie, Carivers, Pullis Chiano. Midfield of Palmer, Courtney, Goddard and Taylor. And the 2 up top, Stephen Moore and Marco Adagio. Highgate starting brightly here. As I'm squinting my eyes to look past the sun, but Ilkeston have the ball back in defence here of Walker, who passes it out in front of the clubhouse for an early throw-in to the visitors. The benches for both teams, by the way, Pelero, Hopkinson, Rowland on the bench for Ilkeston, with new boys Rod Young and Carl Perry. It was Kieran Rowland that got the late call up, with Bennett going out injured in the warm-up. For the visitors, the bench is Goncalves, Gegroup, Ricard, Rolf and Yaya. Some difficult names to pronounce there, so we'll see how we get on as the afternoon unfolds. We're 2.5 minutes into this one. Dixon gives away a free kick just inside the Ilkeston half. Really is gloriously sunny here today at the new Manor ground. Beautiful day, big crowd. Good to see with the money going to cancer as well. Just having a look around, I'd be certain there's a 4-figure attendance here actually, especially on the far side in front of the clubhouse. The free kick was taken long, punched away by Mitchell, but the danger's not gone. Oh, it is now, because Fife's come back to win the ball. A few little tricks from him and he gives it away just inside his own half. Highgate still on the attack here, down the left-hand side, but Fife's there to win it back again. This is Adagio, tackled by Smith, and Ilkeston come away with the ball, looking to break quickly. He's on a different wavelength to Alex Marshall though. Ilkeston want a handball there, and they've got it. They've got a free kick just inside the Highgate half. Referee just having a word with the Highgate skipper there. No card or anything at this early stage. Sam OG, the captain for the visitors today. Oh, it isn't a yellow card for him early on. I think it was handball was the shout. Ilkeston just trying to work out who's going to take this free kick. I think it'll be Tom Marshall. Now he's walked away. Smith's come over to take it. Marshall gets himself just on the edge of the penalty area with about 5 or 6 red shirts. Alex Marshall's on the move as well. It's taken away from Marshall into Reeves, I think it was, but it's cleared away. Shaw heads it back from the halfway line into the penalty area, headed away by OG. And cleared eventually by Highgate. High, but not very far. Smith wins it back, touch to Dixon. Regains possession of the ball well, and it's a strong challenge there from the fullback, Richard Bryant. Puts it out for a throw-in to the Robins. Try and keep you up to date with this score in the other game as well. Obviously, Walsall Wood, the big title rival at the minute. Starting this 3 points behind the Robins. They come here next. They're at Romulus today, where Ilkeston have lost recently, so I wouldn't put it past Romulus to get a result in that one. Flicked on here by the forward for Walsall Wood, but it was a foul given away there by Adagio. Ilkeston have a free kick, which Mitchell comes out to take. Hardly had anything to do in the last 2 home games here, Liam Mitchell. Against Calcer and Shepshed, really good home wins. Robins fans looking for more of the same today. Highgate have the ball just inside their own half, looking to get forward, but he misplaces his pass and Baker cuts it out. This is Tom Marshall, gives it away to Adagio. Played in field. They've got numbers on the right-hand side here, Highgate. It is played out wide to the right. Gets his cross in. Mitchell should gather it, but he decides to let it go out for a goal kick instead. I think it was Shea Palmer with the cross there on the right-hand side. As the Ilkeston fans behind Mitchell's goal up the noise level a bit. Really big crowd here today. Penultimate home game of the season for the Robins. And they do have a tremendous home record. They've won 19 of their 22 home games this season, 69 goals. I think a lot of that is due to the astonishing crowds that the Robins get compared to the rest of the pyramid, really, at this level, and a few levels higher as well. Brilliant crowds. Highgate just knocking it around a little bit here in the middle. Neither side really settled, all a bit scrappy. Dixon scraps that one back though, gives it to Reeves, who has a little bit of a run, but he's tackled by Courtney. Ball's back with Walker on the left-hand side. Lovely ball in field to Reeves, who thought he was blocked off a little bit by the skipper Odgie, but I don't think he was. Goal kick. Ilkeston will be looking to get Elliot Reeves firing again. Had a little bit of a dip recently. He went 4 games without a goal before he scored last week. So much of their success this season, you feel, have been down to Elliot Reeves. Especially at the start of the season, they were winning games where they didn't play well at all just because Elliot Reeves couldn't stop scoring. Goals have been spread around a bit more since then. Walker's obviously got quite a few as well. Scored 5 in 4 actually, Jamie Walker. The club don't do a Player of the Month award, but if they did, I think Walker would have won it for March. Ball's just in front of the dugout. It's going to be a Tom Marshall throw-in, as the ref has a word with someone. 9 minutes gone here. Still Ilkeston Town 0, Highgate 0. As Fowler calls Reeves over, wants him to try doing something a bit different. Shepshed a goal up. A goal down to Rolfronians in their game. And not too much happening yet. Ilkeston did have a good chance early on, and Highgate might have a chance here, but the strikers bundled Shaw. They were having a bit of a race for the ball there on the back line, but Stephen Moore clearly took Shaw out, and Ilkeston get the free kick. Walker's seen a lot of the ball early, plays that over to the left, and Dixon's brought down in the area. A lot of people want a penalty for that, but the ref's not interested. Did look a very clumsy challenge. Not huge protest, although Dixon's very slow to get back up. Second corner of the game then for the Robins. I think that's Smith that's gone over to take it again. Former Eastwood Town player. Gives it to Elliot Reeves. He puts it into the middle and it's gone wide. It was a cross up. It's gone all the way through for a goal kick. I think it was Fife actually with the effort. Which tells you how far away I am from the far end. Really good atmosphere inside the new Manor ground today. All the youth teams are here. Loads of kids going around with their Ilkeston tops and jackets and big buckets to raise money for cancer. Really good atmosphere. There'll be an even better atmosphere in an hour and a half time if they can come out with 3 points here. They really will be within touch and distance then. Not going to be an easy game today though. Highgate, a lot of people's tip actually early on in the season to do really well. A lot of fans of other teams that have been in this league for a while have said you do well to finish above Highgate. As it is, there's a lot of teams above Highgate. They're 15th in the league, but they've looked fairly strong early on in this one. As Alex Marshall miscontrols a ball over the top and the Highgate keeper Catlow launches it back where it came from. Bit of a scrap in the middle of the field there. Hollis is down, Smith is down. They're both back on their feet now. Referee says play on. And it's going to go out for an Ilkeston throw-in just in front of the clock tower stand. Marshall takes it quickly. Back in the lineup today with Lavelle White being suspended. This is Alex Marshall. Strong play from Marshall. Fife continued his run, but just stopped as he thought Marshall was going the other way and the ball's gone out for a goal kick to Highgate. I think Alex Marshall's probably the player that's benefited more than anyone with Lee Fowler coming in. Really struggled under the last manager to get any sort of playing time. He's definitely the preferred partner for Elliot Reeves under the new manager. No, it's hardly the new manager anymore, is he? This is Lee's 16th game. This is Adagio for Highgate. Taylor tries to flick it out wide to Carivers, but it's gone out for another throw-in. Highgate all in bright fluorescent pink today, shooting towards the railway end. Ilkeston, red shirts, red shorts, red socks, shooting towards the car park. Still 0-0, little over 10 minutes played. And there's an offside there against Alex Marshall. Not for the first or last time, I imagine. I know a lot of Robins fans went to the away game against Long Eaton. Scored an absolute bullet of a header, Alex Marshall, in that one. Was the club's 100th goal of the season. He looks up for it again today as well. Catlow takes the free kick for Highgate, launches it almost into the Ilkeston penalty area. Ball's deflected to Fife. Strong tackle by Carivers. And Highgate try and play it across the centre of goal, but Walker's there to clear it. Dixon first to the ball in the centre circle, tackled by Courtney. Hollis wins it back out to the left-hand side of Elliot Reeves, just runs into the penalty area. Not many options in there. Alex Marshall's at the back post if he can find him, but the ball's headed away. It's down with Dixon. Over to Elliot Reeves. He might keep it in. He can't keep it in, and it's a goal kick. Better intent that from Ilkeston though. Just all a little bit static when Elliot had the ball on the left-hand side. Not too many options for him. If you're just joining us on the YouTube, Ilkeston Town TV. We've had 15 minutes gone here. Ilkeston 0, Highgate 0. It's all been fairly cagey opening, really. And just to add to that, Highgate have got a free kick just on the halfway line here. No, it's not. It's a throw-in just in front of the dugout. Taken by the left back. Tom Marshall gets his head on it first and sticks it over the stand and onto the road behind. Policiano with the throw-in hit. Goes for quite a long one. Smith heads it. Well, Smith headed it to fight. He's been pulled back there by a pink shirt, and it's another free kick for the Robins. Neither side really settled into this game too much yet. Liam Mitchell taking the free kick here, yet to be tested. He goes long, might bounce to Reeves. Flicked on and cleared by Policiano. Back up on the halfway line now with Stephen Moore. Smith wins it back well though. This is Fife on the right hand side. He's got Tom Marshall in support behind him on the halfway line. Back to Fife. Marshall goes diagonally long this time, looking for the run of Reeves. Almost found Alex Marshall, but the defender beat him to it. Strong play by Walker there in the left back row. Looks to get the ball forward as he always does, but it's cut out by the centre half, Carivers. This is Brian coming forward for Highgate. It comes to nothing, and Smith has it back in midfield. Making his 9th appearance today, Fabian Smith. Did make 15 for the old Ilkeston Town. Alex Marshall, Ilkeston, into the final third quite quickly here. This is Fife. Tries to take on his man, but he gets it actually at the second attempt. Hollis gets the cross in. Reeves with the header. That's going to go high and wide. And it's a goal kick. So Walsall Wood are at Romulus today. Sporting Calcer host Coventry United. Calcer still mathematically in the title race. They're 10 points behind with 5 games to play, Walsall Wood and Ilkeston have 4 games each, so they still could do it, but I think realistically it's a 2-horse race now. This is Carl Dixon on the left-hand side, wearing the number 3 because of Billy Bennett's late pull-out in the warm-out. Right-footed, drives it across the centre of the area, but it's headed away. Ilkeston just starting to grow a bit of momentum here. Hoofed away by the left-back, who puts it into touch, but Billy Bennett just about keeps it in. This is Tom Marshall. Looked like a handball there from the Highgate player. Referee says play on as Highgate come away with the ball. Just on the left-hand side here, Adagio plays it into Goddard. Back to Carivers. Very hard to make out which Highgate player is which, as I can only see the front of their shirts. But I can see that Stefan Moore's offside there. And it's going to be another Ilkeston free kick. Really big crowd here today. Biggest I've seen for a while, actually. I'll let you know the attendance when I find out. I'll be shocked if it's not 4 figures, though. Certainly won't be far away. I'm not sure if the referee's given a free kick or a throw-in here. I think it's a Tom Marshall throw-in just in front of the dugout. And he tells Tom Marshall to wait as a Highgate player slowly gets to his feet. Niall Smith, the referee today. We've got 2 female assistants, which is good to see. Jade Prince and Rebecca Scott Mullen. Tom Marshall takes the throw-in. It comes to nothing though. It's back with Marshall on the halfway line. Not many options for him when he gets the ball. Jamie Walker though, he's playing left back, but he does seem the most creative of the Ilkeston players at the minute. Plays it into Dixon. Those two have linked up well. Back to Walker. Dispossesses this time. And Highgate come away with the ball. It's a charging run down the middle, but he ran out of room and gives it away to Chris Short, wearing the captain's armband with Meikle injured for today. 38th appearance for the season for Short. He did have a run of 35 consecutive appearances this season. His 36 didn't come until that Long Eaton game where Meikle pulled out injured in the warm-up. Scored in that one. He stayed in the 11 since. He does look really good alongside Meikle. So Baker will be desperate to show what he can do today. They'll all want to play that big game next week, or in 2 weeks' time, sorry, against Walsall Wood. What might be the title decider, or surely will be. 3 points is all that separates them at the minute going into this one. And there'll only be 2 games after that one. Ilkeston go to Dunkirk and Loughborough. Ball's in the centre of the field here with Carivers. Plays it to Del Taylor just inside the centre circle. Highgate looking to build an attack here, but the right back and the left winger misread what each other wanted to do there. The left winger ran inside, the right back went outside, and it's gone out for a Tom Marshall throw-in. Throws it straight up to his brother. He doesn't even try and jump, just looks at the referee and says, there was a push there, wasn't there? Referee says no. It's played high up into the sun. This is Elliot Reeves. Decent chance here. He's got Dixon on his left. Reeves and Marshall in the middle. Dixon, I think he went for goal and it's comfortably saved by Catlow. First effort on target, as far as I can remember, from either side. We've had 22 minutes here. Still 0-0. Ball's back with Fife on the halfway line. Lovely little turn from him there. Elliot Reeves hugging the left-hand channel there. Wanted to play it in off his shoulder, but it wasn't read. This is Smith. Back with Marshall in a bit of space. Tom Marshall tries to whip it in. It's a good header by Samuel Odgie. Back in this time by Marshall to the back post. Flag's gone up. It was Alex Marshall that was offside again. Comes to nothing. So it's a goal kick for Highgate. And the keeper in his luminous green just about to take it in front of the car park. Ilkeston shooting, as they usually do in the first half, towards the car park today. Which means they've got the sun in their eyes this half, by the looks of all the players shielding their eyes from this goal kick, or free kick. Ilkeston definitely the better team in the past 5 to 10 minutes, starting to grow into this game. They've looked really solid at home, especially the last 2 games against Calcer and Shepshed. And if they can win this one today, they really will be... Well, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but you'd really fancy them to go up if they win this one, and then they win the next one. I think there'll be a huge crowd for the next one as well, won't there? Basically a cup final in the league, first against second. Walsall Wood, obviously, their rivals last season as well. Developing a bit of history there, these two. Walsall Wood finished top, Ilkeston finished second. Here come Highgate, just on the right-hand side with Del Taylor, trying to turn Baker, and it's in the corner there. I can't really see if it's gone out. I think it's gone out for a throw-in to Highgate. Ilkeston doubled up on Taylor there, Walker and Baker. Well, it's either a throw-in right in the corner, or it's a corner. It is a throw-in. And they've offloaded the ball to Courtney. He's obviously going to launch this one into the middle. Adagio's in there, as is the number 5. It's headed up behind there by Walker, and now it is a Highgate corner. Jordan Goddard goes over to take it, the former Bristol Rovers player. Made one senior appearance for them in 2011 in the FA Cup. All the Highgate players either on the goal line or just about to start a run on the edge of the area as Goddard adjusts the ball. Alex Marshall's in the middle, there's only marking. The ball's in, it was a good corner, it's headed over though, and it'll be a goal kick. It was a wicked cross in, it was a header by Shea Palmer that was put over the bar. Wasn't close in any way, to be honest. A few Ilkeston subs warming up below me. I think that's Rod Young, who'll be looking to make his debut today. 24-year-old. If you get a chance at half-time and you don't know much about him, search Rod Young, Red Bull Leipzig, because he had a week training with Leipzig in 2017 as part of a documentary. Had to go through a pretty tough-looking selection process, and he definitely showed what he can do. He looks like a real decent player. Just warming up below us in the clock tower stand as the game's broken up again by another offside, and we're waiting for a Brad Catlow goal kick or free kick just inside his penalty area. Brad Catlow, another former Bristol Rovers player, started his career there as a youth player. Free kick taken quickly by Highgate in the centre circle. This is Adagio just picking it up in the middle, offloads it, and the referee's given a goal kick there for a late tackle by Fife. A free kick, sorry. It's quite a long way out. Looks to be a good 30, 35 yards out as Goddard stands over it. All the big players coming forward for Highgate. Courtney's in there. The captain, Sam Odjo's at the back post. Courtney puts it in towards Odjo, but it's cleared away. This is Carl Dixon who's going to hoof it first time up to Alex Marshall. He can't win it. Back with Dixon though. Marshall's in front of him. Oh, beautiful ball out to the left-hand side towards Fife. Oh, well, that was on his weaker foot as well. What a cross. I hope they score here because I want to watch that back on the highlights. This is Fife. Oh, he's just been holed up just inside the penalty area. He's got another go at it though. He's got Walker behind him if he wants him. It's just been slowed down a bit here. If Highgate have got men around the ball. Walker does get his cross in, but it's a very deep one towards Elliot Reeves on the edge of the area. Reeves into Alex Marshall. The ball's deflected. Hollis! 1-0. Jermaine Hollis gives Ilkeston the lead in this crucial game. A bit of pinball in the area there, but Jermaine Hollis made sure he made the most of it. He gets his first goal for the Robins. And they don't care how they come as long as they come in this pursuit for the title. Ilkeston 1, Highgate 0. We've had 29 minutes played. And the Robins lead. Really good finish that from Hollis. He was right in the middle of goal. He was never going to miss. Keeper stood absolutely no chance. Looked like the move had broken down a bit. I don't know how long the move took really from that beautiful left-footed ball from Dixon to the finish. Hopefully it's not too long so I can put it all in the highlights. Been impressed with Dixon early on here actually. He's shown real hunger. I know he's fallen out of favour a little bit at times with the new manager. But every time I see him you can't knock his work rate. Highgate looking to fight back early on here, but Matt Baker's having absolutely none of it. Clears that up towards the halfway line. And Richard Bryan will take the throw in for the visitors. What have Highgate got now then? They've not actually they've not scored in 3 league games, Highgate. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of character they can show here. Speaking of character, I know Highgate have got Lee Hendry on their books. Disappointed that he's not in the squad today. Former Villa man. I think he made England appearance as well, Lee Hendry. But not in the squad today. They do have Stephen Moore though, he's wearing the number 10 today. He made 22 Premier League appearances for Villa, 2002 to 2005. Quite a few Championship games as well actually. Leicester, Millwall, QPR. So I got to say, when I was looking at their team on paper, researching them, I thought they've got a decent crop of lads. But the Robins have been good value for their lead early on here. Highgate will look to end this half strong though. They have a free kick here, nothing comes of it. Alex Marshall on the halfway line, trying to dance around 3 players, not really his strong suit. And Highgate have the ball back. This is Stephen Moore. Puts it out wide to Del Taylor. Taylor plays it in to Moore. Oh, the left-back's giving it away and Elliot Reeves will pick this up. Ilkeston looking to counter. Oh, it was a poor ball from Reeves. He had Tom Marshall alongside him, but he couldn't get his ball right. Dixon tries to tidy it up, but he's been taken out by Dwayne Courtney. He's going to get a booking for that. Just a late tackle. Probably looked more dramatic than it was just because of the speed that Carl Dixon was running at. The referee's just having a word with a few Highgate players here. And he's calling the player over. He's definitely going to book him. One 0 to the Robins if you're just joining us on YouTube. It was a Jermaine Hollis goal, his first goal for the club. Got a little over 10 minutes to go before the break. Ilkeston looking to double their lead here. It's going to be Fabian Smith with the free kick, with the number 4 on his back. Only one man in the wall. It's quite a long way out, so it's crossed in. Header by Walker was misread. It's bobbling around in there, and it's been... it's not actually. It's been broken up. I think there must have been a push the referee's seen, and he's given Highgate a free kick. So Jermaine Hollis with the goal, the former Jamaica under-21 player. Becomes the 23rd different scorer for Ilkeston Town since the reformation of the club. Just waiting for one of the boys with a dark green charity bucket to throw back a ball for us so we can take this throw in here just inside the Highgate half. All been slowed down a little bit now. Sun's hidden behind the cloud as well. Shaw clears the ball away. This is Goddard in the middle of the field. Plays it back to his keeper, who launches a beautiful ball actually to Stefan Moore, but his touch was poor, and Walker has it. Plays it over to Reeves, but the keeper should gather it, and he does. Definitely a 4 at the back from Ilkeston, with Walker playing at left back today. Thought it might be a case of 5 in midfield, but it's definitely not. But it's not hindered Walker at all. He's looked really creative out there. Obviously used to playing left back from last season. This is Fife into the area. Oh, what a chance is it for Marshall. It's been deflected. Oh, it's cleared away by the Highgate defenders. Oh, it looked certain that Alex Marshall was going to put that back where it came from, but bodies on the line, I suppose, for Highgate. Defended very well there and probably kept themselves in the game. This is Tom Marshall. Whips it into the area. The defender decides to let it run, Brian. And it's come to Fife, just in front of the corner flag on the far side. Back to Walker. Walker whips it in. No one was there, and Brian gets his foot on this ball. Decides not to launch it first time, but now he does. Adagio battling against Shaw. Shaw's won everything in that battle so far. And the front man gets back to try and make a tackle, but ends up bringing down Fife, and Ilkeston will have a free kick. Just inside the Highgate half. Ball's played into the middle, cleared away. Highgate living dangerously now. Ilkeston getting crosses in for fun down there. Highgate, of course, did beat Ilkeston in November, 3-1. Not seen any signs of that being repeated so far, though, I've got to say. By this time in that game, Ilkeston were down to 10 men. Pereira got sent off in that one. Very difficult to play, especially a midweek game for 70 minutes with just 10 men. Highgate managed to turn that one around. They'll be looking to do the same in this one. They've got a free kick, which they've launched just on the edge of the Ilkeston area. Baker nods it away. It's fallen to Goddard. He's clattered into by Dixon, and it'll be another free kick to the visitors. This one's very central. Still too far out to be shooting distance, though. Skipper Sam Odgie's always in the referee's ear here. Wants him to even up the yellow cards a little bit. Wasn't enough in that to be a booking. But they're taking a long time discussing it. Everyone back for the Robins other than Fife and Reeves, who have stayed high and wide. They'll look to counter. It's going to be Goddard in his orange boots. Takes a shot on, actually. It's only parried by the keeper. And it's put wide by the number 10, Stephen Moore. Well, I was just waiting to see the reaction there. Can't see the near side goal too well. I've got the stand in the way. I don't know how he missed it. It looked like he was only about 4 yards out. Keeper was on the floor, but it's gone behind for a corner. Must have been a good challenge in there. Referee brandished a yellow card in the aftermath. I presume to an Ilkeston player. Not sure if he was talked into that by the visiting skipper. I didn't see anything worthy of a booking. He didn't give a free kick or anything, or a penalty. Anyway, it's a Highgate corner. End in the half well here. Goddard with it. Whipped in right-footed. Headed away well by Smith. This is Reeves. Dropped back to pick up the ball and Fifes off. Running on the last man, but it's still with Reeves. He's still going, Elliot Reeves. He's got Dixon to the left if he wants him. He squares it to Dixon. Oh, it's a great save by Brad Catlow, and it's put behind for a corner for the Robins. Carl Dixon one-on-one. Elliot Reeves did the right thing. He had to square it. And the feet of Catlow put it behind for a Robins corner to end the half. What a chance. Chances at each end. Could have been 1-0, could have been 2-0. It's still 1-0. This is Dixon. Corner was taken short, whipped in right-footed, but Brad Catlow gathers that one easily enough at chest height. Starting to pick up a little bit now. As we get into the final 5 minutes of the half. This is Carivers. Plays it out to Goddard. He's done a lot of the ball, the set piece taker. He's got Dixon alongside him. Whenever there's a pink shirt on the ball, Ilkeston are pressing very hard. A lot of energy in their defensive work. That's something that Lee's definitely brought to the team. Not really been replicated in clean sheets, but you can see their work rate's really good. Cheap free kick given away by Tom Marshall on the halfway line. Just in front of the dugout. And it's going to be Policiano to take it. In front of what I presume is his father, maybe? Ashley Policiano, the Highgate manager. Probably should have researched that before saying it, but it's not a very common surname. You've got to presume they're related. He does take it left-footed. He's going to get to the edge of the area, and once again it's the centre half that's there first. I think it was Chris Shaw this time. Shea Palmer nods it back to Goddard. About 30 yards out now, Highgate. Ilkeston, everyone behind the ball other than the front two. Whipped into the middle, away by Baker. Fife will pick it up with a little bit of space. Challenged by Carivers, and then a foul by Stephen Moore. And Baker's livid. He says, we were on the counter there, we were breaking. You should book him for that, but the ref laughs it off. I think, yeah, that would have been a bit much. Interesting first half here at the new Manor ground. 42 minutes gone, not long till half time. The Robins still lead 1-0. Highgate could have equalised. Dixon probably should have put the Robins 2-0 in front. Highgate will certainly feel they've always got a chance as long as it's 1-0. Ilkeston obviously got a lot more to play for though. They've got promotion well within their grasp. Highgate down in 15, can't be relegated. But everyone does seem to up their game when they come to play at the new Manor ground with these big crowds. This is Odgie. Oh, he's given the ball away to Smith. This is Elliot Reeves in the middle of the field, and it's a good challenge by Courtney. And Goddard will bring the ball slowly away for the visitors. Dixon swings a leg at it. Hollis does as well. Dixon does eventually have the ball, but he passed one way Marshall went the other, back with Dixon. He's got 5 to the left of him. Tackles flying in all over the place here. Ball's back with Tom Marshall, I think that is. Walker, he's got 5 hugging the touchline to the left, but he goes inside instead. Takes a very weak shot on right-footed. I think he was off balance. That was easily blocked. The ball ends up on the left-hand side with Fife. Whips it in right-footed towards the back post. Marshall couldn't catch up with it, and it's a goal kick for Highgate. All gone there. Touch more quiet here. The beautiful sunshine we had 45 minutes ago has gone. It was 3 second half goals in November that won the game for Highgate. So Ilkeston will want to get that second goal and a third and kill this game off. Highgate have looked fairly decent though, but they've not created very much. They've got a lot of strong physical players. Came third in the league last season, only 2 points away from being a Step 4 club this season. Went down to the last game of the season. They just missed out with Coal Town pipping them to second. And the promotion that went with it last season. Obviously only one team going up this season. And as it stands, with 3 games to go, it's looking like the Robins. Highgate have another free kick on the halfway line. Every time there's a Ilkeston foul, the Highgate skipper is screaming at Neil Smith, the referee, pointing all over the field, looking for a few cards. And now Dwayne Courtney's getting involved as well. Courtney joined from Walsall Wood in 2017. He'd be doing his old club a huge favour if they can nick a result here today. Just waiting for a Highgate free kick on the halfway line. On the far side, Catlow is sat down doing some stretches. Might be something to keep an eye on. Nothing comes of the free kick there, and Liam Mitchell will gather it as the ref has a look at his watch. We're into injury time here. Try and bring you some half-time scores in the other game as well at the start of the second half. This is Fife. He's through on goal and he's finished it. It's 2-0 out of nothing. Rico 5 doubles Ilkeston's advantage right before half-time. What a crucial time to score. He opened the scoring against Long Eaton 2 weeks ago. He's in amongst the goals again, Fife. And the Highgate players look absolutely dejected. They know what a crucial time that was to score. And that should make this game a little bit easier now for the Robins. 2-0. Oh, it looked like a goal out of nothing, really. It looked like it was just lumped up to him. The ball dropped at his feet inside the area, and he made no mistake in tucking it away behind Brad Catlow. And it's going to be very difficult for the visitors to come back from this now. The side that haven't scored in the last 3 games, 3 league games anyway, are going to need at least 2 in the second half. We are still playing here, and by playing I mean watching an argument between the Highgate skipper and the referee. Can't be long left now. Wouldn't be surprised if this was the last kick of the half. Cutler goes long with it. Mitchell decides to stay on his line. It's dropped to Odjo. Danger's not cleared. This is Adagio. It's got Courtney at the back post. It might get to Courtney. It's headed away well by Tom Marshall. Danger's not cleared yet though. Dixon gets the ball away eventually, draws the foul, stays down, and the referee blows for half time. And it's a fantastic 2-0 lead at the break for the Robins. Goals from Jermaine Hollis and Rico Fife, the difference so far. And Highgate have a real job in their hands to turn this one around. But Ilkeston are halfway there. Good value for the win as well. Wouldn't expect them to lose this. Not to tempt fate, but it's looking good at the top for the Robins at the minute. Half-time score, Ilkeston Town 2, Highgate United 0. Join me in 15 for the second half. Welcome back to the new Manor ground. We're almost ready to get going here in the second half. Two 2-0 to the Robins, of course, at the break. Jermaine Hollis giving them the opening goal, and Rico Fife doubling the lead before the break. Got some half-time scores here as Ilkeston get ready to shoot towards the fans. Highgate shooting towards the car park. Referee about to get us underway. Looks at his watch. And away we go for the second half. Ilkeston get it straight out to Fife, who's on this near side towards us at the clock tower stand now. Fallen to Smith. He's got Dixon on the right hand side. Up against the number 11. They might have gone 5 at the back now, Highgate. Certainly when they're defending, Dixon's cross goes all the way through, and it's going to be a Highgate throw-in just in front of the clock tower. The other half-time scores, Romulus 0, Walsall Wood 0. You'd settle for that if Walsall can hold out. I believe Kelsa are drawing 1-1 with Coventry United, which would not quite mathematically put them out of it, but they'd be 12 points behind Ilkeston, and they could only get a maximum of another 12. So you'd say realistically they're already out of it, I'd imagine. But I've written off other teams so many times this season, and this league seems very unpredictable. So won't be writing anyone off until it's all done and dusted. Other scores: Boldmere 1, Loughborough 1, Lisle 0, Worcester 0, Corn 1, Coventry Sinks 1, Shepshed 1, Wolfronians 2. Were the only scores I could find at the break, as Highgate have an early free kick here, which they've just launched straight behind Liam Mitchell's goal. Starting to get a little bit chilly now in this second half, which might explain why Palero's below me warming up in his Ilkeston jacket and his gold bib on. Goal kick's taken, and it's taken to Dixon, and the ball was in his midriff. It was sandwiched between him and the left back Policiano, and the ref's given Highgate the free kick for a handball against Dixon. It's taken by the left back, headed away by Shaw, and Baker makes sure it stays away. Alex Marshall should pick this up. Doesn't quite. It's dropped on the halfway line for Courtney. Puts it high and forward, but Ilkeston have it back. Little bit rushed that from Courtney. This is Fabian Smith on the halfway line, trying to set Fife off down the left, and they've timed that perfectly together. Fife's got Marshall in the middle if he wants him, and he would have had him too if it wasn't cut out by the skipper Odgie and put behind for a corner. Really good move, that. Confident start to the second half from Ilkeston. Smith comes over to take the corner just below us, wearing his black and orange boots. Dixon fakes to come short, but it's going to be Smith who puts it into the area towards Reeve, but it's headed away. Smith should get the rebound. He's got Dixon to the right of him, or Tom Marshall down the touchline. Goes for Marshall. Back to Smith. Back to Marshall. Back to Smith. Dixon says, "Get me involved." They tried, and he misses the ball, and it's cleared by Bryant. Not for very long though. Lumped back into the area, but headed away by the defence wearing all pink. That's a lovely little shimmy there by the left back Policiano, but he's brought down by Alex Marshall. And I'm surprised to see the Highgate captain isn't going over for a rant about giving Marshall a yellow card. Oh, That's because he doesn't need to. Marshall is getting a yellow card. He was the last player off the pitch, the Highgate captain, having a proper go at the referee. He was in his ear all half about evening up the yellow card. So we'll wait for a Highgate free kick here. Running through the teams again for Ilkeston. Mitchell in goal. A back four of Walker, Shaw, Baker and Tom Marshall. Smith, Dixon, Hollis and Fife in midfield. Marshall and Elliot Reeves up top. Free kick taken by Highgate into the penalty area, headed away by Alex Marshall. A missed bicycle kicks come to Goddard and it's blocked. And Ilkeston should get it away here. This is Fife, who launches it. Well, I think it was deflected, but it's gone out for a throw-in to the visitors. Referee keeping his cards in his pocket this time for a late challenge. Highgate team, Brad Catlow in goal. Back four, Brian, Odgie, Carivers, Policiano. Midfielder, Palmer, Courtney, Goddard and Taylor. And the top two, Moore and Adagio. Didn't create much in the first half. They did have a chance when they were 1-0 behind, which they should have scored. Big chance for Stephen Moore. They couldn't make the most of it. Ilkeston punished them just before the referee's whistle. Looking comfortable at the minute. The Robins are 2-0 up. 50 minutes gone in this one. And it's yet to get going really in the second half. Ilkeston definitely looking to play on the break a bit more. This is Dixon out wide to Elliot Reeves. Highgate definitely pushing more men forward now, which, as we saw in the Shepshed game, plays right into Ilkeston's hands. Tom Marshall gets his cross all wrong, trying to pick out his brother, but he can only pick out the goalkeeper who keeps it in play. Highgate will definitely be disappointed with this season, whatever happens. So close to promotion last year, never really threatened for it this year. They've not won in their last 5 league games. That was away to Wolves Sporting. They actually went 10 games without a win from the end of November, to January. That was their big Achilles heel. Their form's been decent since, and their form was decent before that, but you can't really go 10 games without a win and expect to be challenging for anything. Big news is Ilkeston are concerned on the form front is that they won their last 2 away games for the first time in a very long time, winning back-to-back away games. Quiet start to the second half here. It's the Highgate throw-in just in front of the hatch. Taken down well and kept on the floor this time by the Highgate midfield. This is Brian just running at Fife, and he picks out his striker well as well. Moore, the number 10, shifts it out to the left-hand side with Del Taylor. He's got a little bit of space, and he's got Carivers alongside him if he wants to use him. He's made the overlap, but he's gone alone. I think that was a shot and easily gathered by Liam Mitchell. Had the strength of a cross, but right down the throat of the keeper. No one was in there. Elliot Reeves now looking to break for the Robins. Just in front of us in the clock tower stand. Turns his man well, gets into the penalty area. He's got Dixon alongside him. He tries to find Alex Marshall, but it's cleared by the skipper. Back of Hollis. This is Tom Marshall on the far side. Ilkeston committing a lot of men forward for this one. Reeves wants it short and he gets it. He's got Dixon alongside him, but it's cut out simply enough by Carivers. Forward to Moore. Highgate not very quick at getting forward. They've slowed it down a bit here. And they try and go over the top, but it's going to run out for a goal kick. And nothing comes of that. Ilkeston Town 2, Highgate United 0. If you just joined us on Ilkeston Town TV. I'm Connor Jones. It's all looking pretty rosy for the Robins at the minute in this penultimate home game of the season for them. They've won all their home league games this season, other than that Lyle defeat and the big defeat to Coventry Sphinx. Highgate would actually join Lyle as the only team to do the double over the Robins this season in the league. if they can turn this around, but they're a long way from doing that at the moment. They've got a free kick on the halfway line, which Brian's taken long, diagonally. Played into the area there with Moore. Tom Marshall gets back well and he wins a goal kick for his side. And they'll have a chance to clear the danger hit. Can't imagine it will be long before Lee wants to make a few changes. Having a quick look at his bench now. Palero's the only one warming up. They're all out there at half time, they're warming up. The new guys as well. I think the one that stood out for me is Carl Perry. He's huge. Oh, it's got to be a foul there by Odjo. Referee doesn't give it, the linesman gives it, but the ref hasn't seen it. Well, I think he might have, and he said, we'll let that one go. Odjo just yanked away at Alex Marshall, I think it was. Got away with it. Highgate have the ball back in the middle. This is Goddard into Moore. Doesn't get a sniff before before Baker wins it off him, but the referee gives a free kick. Ian Deacon's got his head in his hands at that decision. Two decisions definitely going for the away side there. Ilkeston have switched off a bit here though. Highgate haven't. Switched out to the left-hand side, head into the area. It might drop for Moore, but Walker was there to head it away. Danger not gone. This is Shea Palmer, the number 7. Back to Brian. In a bit of space here. Whips it into the area. Headed away by Baker. And Fabian Smith should bring it out. Oh, lovely touch by him there to work a little bit of space. Gets it back to Tom Marshall, who launches it up to his brother. And it's gone out for an Ilkeston throw-in on the far side. Ilkeston shooting towards the railway end. The visitors all in fluorescent pink today, shooting towards the car park. And if their fans are behind that goal, there's none of them. There's about 10 people maybe behind that goal. Bit of a stoppage in play here. We're going to have a substitute for the Robins. Lee's decided Alex Marshall can call it a day. And Carl Perry's going to make his first appearance at the new Manor ground. Came on as a sub last week. All these new players look forward to playing at home there in front of this big crowd. Always amongst one of the biggest at this level in the country. So Carl Perry comes on wearing the number 17 shirt. Which was the first challenge for the club to get a shirt that fits him. 6'4", big lad. Joins from Colville Town, I think it was, in Step 3. Yeah, signed last week. His debut for Colville was actually almost delayed a week because they didn't have a shirt that was big enough for him. A fan ended up donating his for Perry to make his debut in. As far as I know, that's not needed to happen today for the Robins. So the kit man done his job well. But he's come up, he's playing alongside Elliot Reeves, and he's he's charging about the place. He's a big bloke, Carl Perry. See how he gets on in his second appearance for the Robins. Bit of loose play at the back from Ilkeston, and Tom Marshall takes no chances and smashes it out in front of the turnstiles for a Highgate throw-in. As Highgate are going to respond with a sub of their own. Looks like Isaac Jagroup's coming on. Hopefully the player replaced and turns around so I can see his shirt number. It's Stephen Moore. The former Premier League man comes off. And on come the dreadlocks, I think, of Isaac Jagroup. And his first chance is to get into the middle here for a long throw-in, which I think it's Courtney's going to take. Launched into the middle. It's towards a gaggle of players, but Jamie Walker ends up getting his foot on it and gets it up to the halfway line. Hollis challenging with the right back for Highgate, but the right back, Brian's done really well to come away with it before Highgate slow it down a bit again. Lovely turn on the left-hand side. by Dale Taylor. He's got the ball back in the middle now. He's got Hollis, Dixon and Reeves all around him. Gives it to Goddard. Oh, I'm liking these dreadlocks of Jagroup. It really does make him stand out, which is always brilliant from my point of view. But the ball doesn't get anywhere near him when it's eventually played in. Dixon tries to come away with it, but he's tackled. And it's all very slow up there, but the ball is sticking with these fluorescent pink shirts. Salmon coloured, if you're being generous. Nearly all the players have got those thermal Under Armour vests that players like to wear these days. No idea what they're called, but I'm impressed they managed to find fluorescent pink ones. There's about 6 of them out there wearing them. It's not the coldest day. Most fans are in their t-shirts. Good bit of desire there on the right hand side by Shea Palmer. Plays it into Jagroup. This is Brian, just inside the Ilkeston half. He's pressured into playing the ball forward, and Shaw and Mitchell get it away between them. This is Goddard on the edge of the area. Smith comes in with a strong challenge and Ilkeston get it away. Launched up to Perry on the halfway line. He holds it up well. That's clearly what he's been brought on to do. Elliot Reeves is just playing off his shoulder now. But the ball's back with the Highgate keeper. He had 2 seasons in the Football League, Carl Perry, with Port Vale, a little over 10 years ago. He's made 33 appearances in League 1 and League 2 in his career. Another great addition to the Robins lineup. You've got to fill all these additions now with next season in mind. They're definitely planning for promotion, and if they do go up, they'll be looking to go up again and get back to step 2 as quickly as they can. They've certainly got all the foundations, all the backing to do it. Oh, Fife was taken out there by a strong challenge, which the referee's not going to penalise any further than giving a free kick. I think it was Shea Palmer with it. Well, Carl Dixon's afternoon's over. He's being replaced by another debutant. Rob Young's coming on. So Dixon, who thought he was going to be on the bench at 2:45, is now. Rod Young comes on wearing number 16, 24-year-old. He's the 34th player to play for Ilkeston this season, which seems like a huge number to me. This is Perry, flicks it on. Tries to find Elliot Reeves, but Highgate have crowded him out. Young's just come on to the sort of left forward position, and he's got the ball, and he's just slipped, but he's picked it up. He'll be looking to impress straight away. Unfortunately, he's given it away straight away, but he had sort of 2 players to beat there, so it's a big ask for him. Wins it back though. Finds Smith to Fife, to Hollis. Back to Tom Marshall. He's been at the club a little longer than those mentioned players. Whips it over towards Rod Young, but it's cleared. This is Fife. Danger not gone for Highgate. A bad challenge, but Fife rides it. Whips it into the area. Elliot Reeves at the back post. Had his chance because the left back missed it, but he puts it wide. Head in his hand from Reeves. But his touch has just been lacking, hasn't it? The last sort of, 2 months maybe a bit longer. Still would certainly get my vote for Ilkeston's player of the season. Carried this club at times. His goals. Where would they be without him? He'll be desperate to add to the goal he got last week. Keep his run going, as all forwards want to do. Well, I think Chris Shaw saw something the rest of us didn't there as he launches it over towards the hatch, and Catlow comes to pick it up for the visitors. We had 63 minutes gone in this one. The Robins still lead 2-0. This is Odgie with a strong ball out to his left back, it was Del Taylor for the time being, and it was far too strong for him, just in front of the clubhouse, and Ilkeston have a throw in. I imagine the big frame of Carl Perry will be the target here. This is Perry. Eventually gives it to Walker. Walker right-footed into the area, but no one was there, and the keeper comes to gather it. There's a late challenge there on the Ilkeston defender. I think it was Baker who's on the floor. And it was Adagio that was adjudged to have fouled him. The man born in Malaga. Joined the Shrewsbury Town setup when he was aged 11. I think he made a few first team appearances for them as well, but he finds himself at Highgate these days. Rod Young is going to take the throw in here. It's a long one, but it's not in towards a red shirt, headed away. Palmer. Hollis will pick up the bouncing ball, plays it back to Tom Marshall. We're just in front of the clock tower stand here. Young, he's got Fife alongside him. One little step over, tries to get the cross in on his left foot, but it's blocked. Back to Fife. He does a nice little turn. There's two Ilkeston players against one pink shirt here, and the pink shirts have come out on top, and it's going to be a throw-in just in front of the corner flag for the Robins. Quite unusual to see a forward player launching a throw-in to the box, but that's what Rod Young's got in his game. He's got a little bit of a beard going on there as well. Thrown in towards Elliot Reeves, gets a shot away, but it's blocked by Policiano. Reeves strong and wins it back though. He's got a bit of space here on the edge of the area, gets a shot in, and he finds the back of the net. It's a beautiful goal from Elliot Reeves, and the Robins have all 3 points. What a finish from Elliot Reeves. It was on his left foot, just takes it inside the area, creates a bit of space for himself, and he curls it into the top hand post. There's nothing the keeper could do about it. 3 goals for the Robins, 3 points with 3 games left. And just like that, the kids are running around with their charity buckets again. Everyone's in a better mood. Let's raise a bit of money. Some of these kids have got a sharp business mind. I know that's what they're thinking. So Ilkeston lead 3-0 with about 67 minutes gone in this one. It's been a really even second half. If anything, Highgate have shaded it. But just like he's done so often this season, if you give Elliot Reeves a chance, he doesn't miss too many of them. And that was an absolute worldie of a finish. For all the plus points of non-league, I do wish I had a monitor or something to watch these goals back. I'll be watching that one back tonight when I get the video footage, get the highlights up. You're going to want to see it if you're not here today. And if you are here today, you're probably going to want to see it even more. Highgate desperate for a goal now. They're committing a lot of men forward, and Ilkeston might be able to break here if Smith can look up. Oh, Rod's played in nicely. This is Rod Young. Keeper's committed. Oh, the keeper got the better of him there. And I think he got the ball, to be fair. It's right in front of me, just below me. But the referee has actually penalised him. He doesn't think he got the ball. And he's given a free kick just on the edge of the area. Well, to me, it looked like it was either a corner or a penalty. If I'm honest, I think it should be a corner. But if he's given the decision, it looked like he was inside the box. Which is what the Ilkeston players are saying to him now, but he's not going to change his mind. So Ilkeston have a free kick just on the left-hand side, just in front of the clock tower stand. And Tom Marshall and Fabian Smith are standing over it. Rod Young is shrugging his shoulders to the referee, and he says, "Come on, that was in the area." It's a good little run, good little bit of link-up play as well. Anyway, It's Marshall with the free kick, goes short to Smith. Smith fluffs his lines horribly. Oh dear. He was right inside the penalty area, all the space in the world, right-footed, winds it up, and his shot somehow ends up going behind him and out for a throw-in near the hatch. It's a lot funnier when you're 3-0 up. Smith starting to come into his own a bit in this team. 3 starts in a row for him now. It feels like Lee Fowler's starting to get the 11 out that he likes consistently. Just trying to hear the attendance being announced. I think it was 950. I might be wrong. I'll try and double check that for you. But certainly looking around, it looked around the 1,000 mark. Lumped forward by the Robins. It's over to Rod Young again. The number 16. Lovely bit of trickery there, but he's got 2 pink shirts around him, and Highgate come away with the ball. He's joined from Newcastle Town, Rod Young. Really exciting looking player. If you weren't with us in the first half, I'll say it again, he was training with Red Bull Leipzig for a week in 2017. If you search his name and search RB Leipzig, there's a really good documentary out there following his progress. Really interesting stuff. Certainly looks to be a real good player. Really interesting, just from a footballing point of view as well, about the training tactics and the mentalities of English coaches and German coaches. Certainly thought the technical side of the German game suited him a bit more than the kick and chase English approach. Highgate have got a throw in here. They've got a chance in the area and they've got a goal back. It's a long way from me. I can't quite see who's put it in. I think it might be a Adagio. It was route 1. It was a long throw just in front of the turnstiles. The forward brings it down, puts it into the back of the net. And Highgate have a goal back on the 71-minute mark. Now then. Still comfortable for Ilkeston. They got a 2-goal lead, but if Highgate can get another one, things are going to start to get very nervy. Ilkeston can't afford to switch off. They need to stay resolute here. Another game where they don't get a clean sheet. It's only 2 clean sheets and 16 appearances now for the Robins, which for a side that have been so dominant at home all season is quite remarkable, really. If there's any Highgate fans listening, your team have scored their first league goal in 4 games. And if they can get their second, we'll have an interesting couple of minutes here at the new Manor ground. As it is, still 3-1 to the Robins, less than 20 minutes to go. The ball's out on the far side with a Highfield player. Can't quite make out who it is, but he's got the ball back. And he's played it back to his skipper. This is Odgie, launches it forward, over to Palmer. Walker went up to try and head the ball. They both missed it, and it's gone out for a corner to the side in pink. Heart's in my mouth now whenever I see Walker going up in that area of the field with an opposing winger after the Long Eaton game. One of the Long Eaton players was down for a very long time. Must have been about 40 minutes while I waited for an ambulance to come. Nothing like that this time though. Corner's taken, headed on by Highgate. It's all very clustered in there, but I think it's Smith who's going to come away with the ball here. He's looking for Young to make a bit of a forward run. He's just on his heels a little bit there, Young, and the fullback's beating him to the ball. This is Brian. Young comes back with a challenge though, but the ball drops to Carivers. Whipped into the area. It's going to go all the way behind, and it's going to be a Mitchell goal kick. A lot of people going in and out of the open gate behind Mitchell's goal, back into the car park. A lot of fans obviously think this one's done. Want to get back for the Grand National. Just trying to see, yeah, the attendance was 950 here today. So around about 1,000 people, brilliant turnout. And obviously all contributing at least £1 towards cancer research, Macmillan Cancer Support. So they'll have 950 from the gate, anything that was raised in the donations as well, which is great for everyone. Something everyone's affected by, isn't it? Mitchell just taking a goal kick here, launches it out to Elliot Reeves just in front of the clubhouse, and Reeves' header was poor and it's going to be a throw-in for the visitors. I'd be interested to know what the Walsall Wood score is, but every time I look at my phone, something tends to happen. Right, there's a sub. Let me have a look. I think it's still 0-0. As Pelera comes on for Smith. And there's a change for Highgate with Danny Rolfe coming on. And I've no idea who came off, to be completely honest. So that's Ilkeston using all of their subs now. As we go into the last 15 minutes, they're still 3-1 up. It's been a very stop-start second half. Highgate have managed to pull a goal back. Ilkeston looking to finish strong here. Tom Marshall with the free kick on the halfway line. This is Elliot Reeves. Plays it back to Perry. Can he get a shot away? Not quite, it's blocked. It's going to drop to Rod Young inside the area. His cross is turned away and put out for throw-in just below the clock tower stand. As Ian Deacon slowly plays ball boy. And Jamie Walker's going to take this one. Stayed left back all game, Jamie Walker. Launched into the middle, and there was a push by Perry on the number 4, Courtney, and the ref's given a goal kick. Not been a huge amount of urgency since the away side pulled a goal back. Group's hotting around in the on the halfway line. I think he got stood on that. Game goes on though. So if Walsall Wood do drop points, and they did score an injury time winner in their last game, the gap would be 5 points with just 3 games to go. So Ilkeston could win it against Walsall Wood when they come here. A while to go yet though. Ilkeston have a corner. Good link-up play by Young and Walker just in front of us. Walker says he'll take this one. Just waves Pelero away. And Pelero's coming over. Marshall's coming over. They all want to take it. And Ian Deacon decides that Pelero's going to take it. So Walker jogs on into the middle. Perry waits. He'll want to get his first Ilkeston goal. Pelero takes the corner. Sent off in the reverse fixture in November. Whipped a good ball in here. It's fallen to Tom Marshall. Plays it back to Pelero. It's definitely onside. Whipped into the middle. Perry's there, but it's headed away. Might drop to Young. Not quite. Headed away by Goddard. The group goes down, referee says get up, nothing given. This is Hollis on the right hand side, whipped in towards the back post. Perry can't quite reach it, leaves it for Fife. Rod Young wants the ball, he goes for Polero instead. Polero, Young just on the edge of the area, a bit of a heavy touch there, and Ilkeston lose the ball. Polero wins it back, and Fife does well to keep it in play, and he definitely did keep it in play, but the linesman's given a throw in. Tell you what, if Ilkeston want to play on the counter-attack against Walsall Wood, they're going to have some pace down this left-hand side. Oh, blimey. Big chance there for Perry. I think he went for a cross, but there was no one in the middle. He had the keeper beat, but yeah, went with the wrong option, I think, there. It was a very acute angle. Actually made 40 appearances for Mansfield Town many years ago, Carl Perry. Don't hold that against him. There's some good noise now behind Mitchell's goal as Hollis comes away out of the Ilkeston half with the ball. He's tracked all the way by the number 14, but Ilkeston do come out with it. This is Fife. He's got Young alongside him. He's always in a lot of space, Rod Young. Again, his first touch wasn't quite good enough there. Lost his foot in. Oh, and his tries to play it back to Fife, but he's lost the ball. This is Carruthers. Plays it out to Palmer. Highgate have the ball, but there's a lot of red shirts. In fact, there's 10 red shirts behind the ball, so they can't do much with it at this point. 81 minutes gone in this one. Ilkeston still lead 3-1. Goals from Hollis, Fife, and a beautiful Elliot Reeves second half goal. Adagio did pull one back for Highgate about 10 minutes ago, but they haven't come close since. They are running into the Ilkeston third, and they might have won a free kick here as well, actually. Polero judged to have fouled Carruthers. And it is going to be a free kick on the far side, so it's hard really to judge how far out this is, but it's so far on the right hand side, it's definitely going to be a crossing opportunity, not a shooting one for Goddard. Ilkeston will have to wise up here now. Can't afford to concede a second. It's going to get very nervy if they do. No danger though, it was cleared. Back with Goddard. It's got Rod Young pulling away at him, but Goddard maintains the ball. It's all been slowed down a lot though as Ilkeston get men around him. Highgate wanted a cheap free kick there. They weren't going to get it. And Carl Perry's got one to chase. And he's done well to win it actually. The big man, he's been pulled back, but he's played Elliot Reeves through. He's in the centre of the goal. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper. And you know the result. Elliot Reeves doesn't miss those chances. Great work from Carl Perry to set it up. Well done referee for playing the advantage. And Elliot Reeves, he actually had quite a lot to do. He beats both defenders. He slots it past Brad Catlow. No mistake from the Robins here. They've got this one in the bag now. Ilkeston 4, Highgate 1. That's so like Elliot Reeves. He's been so quiet again all game, but he's got 2 goals. He'll probably win a Man of the Match award. That does seem to be how it goes. That's really been like his season, actually. He doesn't ever seem to do too much when he's not scoring goals. But that's his 35th goal of the season, and if you're doing that every season, no one's going to be bothered about anything else you do, are they? Good assist for Carl Perry as well. It showed real strength there. I've got to say, I didn't fancy him to win a foot race against the right back, but I think it was his strength more than anything that made sure he did. Offloaded it to Reed. He was on the outside of the area, 2 men around him. He seemed to delay a little bit longer than you'd like. Didn't take the shot early. But he doesn't make a mistake, Elliot Reeves. This one is definitely settled now. Let's see if I can find out the score. Well, Walsall Wood have just scored against Romulus. They are a goal up in that one. And there must only be about 5 minutes left in that as well. So it looks like Walsall Wood are holding up their end of the bargain. Calcer are level 2-2 with Coventry United at the minute. So that would put Ilkeston on 73 points, Walsall Wood on 71, Calcer on 61 with a game in hand. So realistically, I think Calcer are done and dusted, as impressive as they've been this season. And it looks like being the top two from Division 1 last season, they're going to have a title showdown here in 2 weeks' time, with Ilkeston having a 3-point advantage. And their last few home performances have been so dominant, Ilkeston. They'll be big favourites to win that one, you'd think. Though Walsall Wood are the form team. They've won 5 of their last 6. Ilkeston 4 of their last 6. As we're in the 85th minute now. Highgate, as they have so often in this game, really just struggling to get anywhere in and around the Ilkeston back line. They've got a throw in just in front of their dugout. They did actually come into this with a win. They won their JW Hunt Cup quarter-final on Wednesday, beating Wellington Amateurs 1-0. So you'd imagine they'll be focused on winning that now, if they can get out of the season with a bit of silverware. Oh, they almost had another goal there. A very deep cross from the left-hand side, just hits the bar of Mitchell's goal. And Mitchell can't believe it's been given as a Highgate throw-in, but it has. And he's come all the way to the edge of the area to shout at the linesman, "Get back and go. What are you doing?" Can I say linesman if it's a woman? Have I got to say lineswoman? You know what I mean. It's actually a corner. And Mitchell is literally coming all the way over now to the linesman to have a go at her. Well, I think the referee might have overturned the decision and given a goal kick. So Mitchell's just gone over to, I don't know, rub it in or something. He doesn't need to do this. I don't know why he's doing this. Referee's having a go at him saying, "Get on with it." And he's still going. Be a needless booking if he picks it up. You're 4-1 up. You've got 3 minutes left in the game. You've got the decision. Get on with it. Highgate looking to end strong here. This is Carivers on the right-hand side. He's got Fife and Palaio around him. Young comes away with the ball, looks to play it over the top. I think Perry was offside. He holds his hands up, but he continues his run. Courtney plays it back to the Highgate keeper. And they're just playing it along their back line now. With Carl Perry, the furthest man forward. Reeves is on the right, Young's on the left. Fife, Hollis, Palaio in the middle. Manager's always obviously thinking to use Carl Perry as a big target man, hold up the ball and get all these quick players running off him. Be really interesting to see what lineup he picks if everyone's fit for the manager. This is Fife, plays it over the top to Young. There was an advantage played there where I think Ilkeston probably would have preferred the free kick, but it comes to nothing. Well, things are looking pretty rosy for the Robins at the minute. Winning very comfortably at home all the time now. Back-to-back away wins. Elliot Reeves looking for the hat-trick. But he's been crowded out and he'll get a corner. Some of the fans want a penalty. Oh, a lot of the players want a penalty as well, actually. Got to admit, it was on the far side. I didn't really see too much of it, but didn't look to be too much in it, to be honest. Well, he started the game 4 goals behind Stephen Hart in the Golden Boot race. Elliot Reeves. Not sure how Hart got on for Quorn today, but Elliot's got himself 2 more. Brilliant numbers from those two. Elliot alone's got 35 goals in 40 Ilkeston appearances. That's top draw, that is, for the young chemical engineering student. Still goes to uni, of course, during the week. You got to think he'll be much sought after. Ilkeston will do very, very well to hold on to him through the summer. With a goal record like that. But obviously you understand if any of these players go to the Football League, but if you're going to stay in non-league circles, is there anywhere better to be than Ilkeston Town at the minute with this sort of gate every single week? We're into injury time here. I think it's still 4-1. It'd be nice to know if Walsall Wood are still winning. But I can do a lot of things, but multitasking ain't one of them. Well, I think it is still 1-0 at Walsall Wood. Ilkeston won't mind too much as long as they keep doing their job. They'll be heading up the way it stands. Is there one last chance for them here? Marshall tries to play it over to Rod Young, but it's cut out. This is Reeves. Perry picks it up, tries to find Pelero, but it's a strong challenge by Carruthers. Goddard comes away with it. Nice bit of footwork from Goddard. Get past Fife. Kept hold of the ball really well there, around about 4 red shirts. As this one slowly starts to fade away. Got to say, on the man of the match stake, thought Walker started really well. Really impressed with Carl Dixon throughout the game. Centre back pairing barely put a foot wrong. Hard to think of anyone that's had a bad game, actually. Been impressed with the 2 in midfield. In the middle, I mean. Elliot obviously got his goals. I'm sure he'll win the man of the match award. And the full-time whistle goes. At the new Manor ground, the Robins extend their winning run. It's 3 games in a row that they've won now for the first time since November. And they are hitting form at just the right time. 4-1 the result here. Fife, Hollis. The first 2 goals, Elliot Reeves got a beauty before finishing the game off with the 4th. Get in there! Adagio pulled it back. And there's not too much on show from Highgate to the say. Pulled it back to 3-1. Never really looked like getting in the second. Their players trudge off the pitch as the Ilkeston fans get ready for the players to come and give them all high fives. It's the 20th home win of the season for Ilkeston out of 23. And the biggest one is yet to come. It's in 2 weeks' time. It's Walsall Wood. It's going to be a title decider. There's 3 points in it. There's 3 games to go. Get yourself down here if you can in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Ilkeston still have it in their hands. Promotion's in sight. They did the job today. They did it really well. Final score, Ilkeston Town 4, Highgate United 1.